Alrighty. Today I am on page 43 in your workbook. So if you have the same HMNH workbook, that's where we are. It's page 43. I'm going to go through the learn the math for you and do all the explaining. Then you should do the math. You should pause the video and do the math without me. And then I will do the math part also so that you can see how that works. So in the previous pages, we were given an equation and we had to find the coordinates for the new or the transformed or the moved shape, the parabola or the cubic or the line. But now they're giving us the coordinates and we have to find the equation, okay? So we are going to try to find the A, the B, the H, and the K. And we are going to use these three coordinates. Now, our original parent function had these coordinates. How do I know? Because they're written over here as -1, 1, 0, 0, and 1, 1. So there used to be a parabola here. That was the original parent function. But then it has been moved and transformed, right? Changed its shape. And so we start with which point on the new parabola coordinates with the point on our original parabola. So our -1, 1 is now a -4, 3. What used to be a 0, 0 for our vertex is now a -3, 1. And what used to be a 1, 1 is now this new point, which is -2, 3. Now, the beautiful part about this is that our 0, 0 is our vertex, right? So this is our new vertex. So H equals -3 and K equals 1. We had that written in our notes that on this table, the center is the 0 line is going to be H for our X value and K for our Y value. So we can write that in, that H is -3 and K is 1. So we're already halfway done. We already have part of it, right? So the next thing we can do is know that to find our coordinate, or rather to find what A is, I can use this part of our formula, A plus K equals 3. And you're like, where did you get the 3? We got the 3 from the Y value of our ordered pair. Because in earlier versions, we would do this math to get the coordinate. Now we're using the coordinate so that we can get A. Now I know what K is, so I can write A plus 1 equals 3 because K is 1. And so then to move the 1, I would go -1 to both sides. A equals 3 minus 1 is 2. So A is 2. Beautiful. Now, we aren't required to find B on this problem, but I will just to show you that it still works. So here we have B plus H equals a -2. Again, where did we get that -2? Well, we got it because that is the X value in the coordinate. So B plus H equals -2, but we know what H is. So B minus 3 equals -2 because H is -3. Oh my goodness. B minus 3 equals -2. To get the B alone, I'm going to add 3 to both sides. And we get B equals -2 plus 3 is 1. Boom, B is 1. Then I take all of these variables with their new values and I plug them in up here into this equation that they told us. They said the equation needs to be in this form. So I'm going to write J of X equals A. A is 2. Still have a parentheses. If I had a B, it would go right here, but my B is 1. So I can just write X minus H, but H is -3. So I'm going to go plus h. If you need better instruction on how I got that, it was going to be minus a -3. But when we have minus and negative, they change to positives. End my parentheses, and that is to the 4th power plus k, and k is 1. So plus 1. And that is our answer because it asked for the equation. Write an equation, we wrote the equation. All right. So now you should come down here and try it without me. I will let you know that it's probably helpful to know that these were your original starting points. And we need to know what those coordinates were. So write those coordinates, our new coordinates, right? They used to be -1, 1. What is it now? It used to be 0, 0. Where did it get moved to now? What are its new coordinates? Start by writing those. Then you should know your H and your K. Solve for A. Plug it in. So pause now. All right, welcome back. So hopefully you got that this parabola then became this parabola. So this point became this point. So I'm going to write 0, -2.5. This point, our vertex, became this point, our vertex. So I'm going to write 1, -3. And then this point, up and to the right, became 2, -2.5. Now, when we have 0, 0, that gives us our H and our K, our new vertex. So H is 1 because there's a 1 here in my coordinate, and K is -3 because there's a -3 for my Y value in my coordinate. And so I'm going to put those in the boxes, 1 and -3. Now I just have to solve for A. So hopefully we remember that A plus K equals, this is the tricky part. What is it going to equal? How do I know what it's going to equal? Right, it's going to equal the Y coordinate that matches with that point. And then we know what K is, so I get K, A -3 equals -2.5. How do I get A alone? Yeah, we add 3 to both sides. So I get A equals, I have a -2.5 and a +3. Different signs, so I can subtract and choose. It's going to give me a +0.5. So I plug that in for my A. Now I'm going to be looking at the form up here for my formula, for my equation. They already wrote the J of X equals A is 0.5 parentheses X minus H, H is 1 parentheses to the 4th power plus K, K is -3, so I'm going to write -3. You could also do plus a -3, that would work. And that is how you solve it. You will have a problem just like this on your quiz. Good luck.